Hello again, it's winter. I'm now going to try and play through the module I just created. I did have to go in and make a couple more changes which weren't in the video, mainly to do with unlocking areas. In fact, entirely to do with unlocking areas, and one to make Peony the end of the quest. But those quick changes were done, took just a couple of seconds, nothing new, nothing that I didn't go into in the video, so I don't think it was worth re-editing. We'll see if we can just play through. This is a low combat module, not because I planned it that way, but because all the areas were too small, inserting combat into them didn't make any sense. So it should be a very quick run through. I'm using a paladin for this. I'm going to add some videos of each of the different classes, hopefully later this weekend. But the paladin is the one I chose to use just because the paladin's very independent and strong. I can play through on hard. I'm fairly sure I won't meet any sort of trouble. So you see I grabbed all these quests. I've got to rescue Peony. I've got to follow the tracks of the kidnappers. I'm going to kill the kidnappers. And the reason there's a couple of quests which seem quite similar, like rescue Peony and follow trail the kidnappers, is because you kind of want to finish and end quests as you go through to ensure you have something to tie opening up the next level to. So you can't trigger an event within a map, but you can trigger the access of the map. So that map wouldn't have been accessible from the world map beforehand. It was only accessible since I started a quest. So I'll travel to there. This was the area I wanted to be an attacked caravan and have bandits nearby. As it turned out, it was a small area again, so I can have my attacked caravan with Branny, the selfish independent trader, not from Trotter's Independent Traders. She tells me about the attack. She's quite bitter and annoyed, so again here to trigger me being able to access the next area, I have to complete a quest for her. So she's jumped in, which is interesting. Yeah, so he's not really a threat as such. But lay on hands there. And she ran over to help, which is quite good. There we go, done. She tells me roughly where to go. So, I could have done a little bit of work to clarify the text, but this will now have opened up another area. You see where I can travel to that area. The end of the tracks. Because this is the slaver camp. And of course it isn't the end of the module. It's just the end of this set of tracks because the slavers are dead. See, I've customized the text to go in there. Here's my slaver camp. I think it's quite well hidden actually. There's a slaver over here. I will go and chat to him. He's scared and terrified because they came in the night. And he tells us to go north. He has mad staring eyes. That might just be because he's a halfling. And halflings are thoroughly disreputable. Okay, another hint to go off north. Not that there's honestly any real choice due to the tiny maps. We will continue traveling to another new area, which again, customized description. You see this is going very quickly. Took about an hour and a half to make the module, a further half out of planet. Oh. So I'm going to pop a defensive ability here. I love this. This arcing smite is brilliant. So it just creates a bouncing thing. These guys are pretty tough, it's taking a while to die. Getting quite low, so I'm going to pop that and that, which makes me super buff, tough. Yeah, see, interesting. So my paladin's pretty good. There are a lot of wolves here, in fairness. Pop that. Yep. I should probably be focusing my damage as well. Oh, and I've been prone. So I do have gloves of restraint on this character. Appear to be finding a pathing bug there, which means I'm just standing still. And then I popped my debuff. So yeah, I hadn't realised wolves were quite this tough. This is going to be an interesting fight. I'm popping shield wall for no apparent reason. There we go, I'll start focusing. Right, and here is the bloody skeleton. So, da-da-da, some quest. I wonder what high level wolves drop. I bet it's junk, just like everything seems to drop in this game. So you see, if I tried to do it as a wizard, I'd have been pretty screwed in that fight, because wizards have nothing that does sustained damage, and they die really fast. What I am confused about, though, is why my potions look like this. Oh, I have a flask of acid there. Anyhow, I've progressed the quest again, and I get to go to the last zone. And this is the ogre lair, so I'm expecting this to be tougher than the wolves. Like the ogres are level offset as well. My poor old computer struggling to keep up. Character does sadly look like a bit of a fashion train wreck, and that is purely because there is no way to customize your appearance. It's purely based on your items. I suppose I should probably heal up. While I wait to heal, wait for a cooldown there. The key things on this character are bit of cooldown and action speed reduction, stacked radiant damage, stacked a bit of armor class, and immune to restraint and paralyze, which is why I was quite surprised that I could be not prone. I'm quite low on potions of healing. That's an issue. Let's pop this. Wow. Okay, let's get rid of that. Seems to be a bit of lag. Ooh, and I've died. So you see, I was getting pretty cocky coming into here. I was like, yeah, no worries. I'll sort these guys out. I don't actually know the mechanics of the game well enough to judge. Oh, that's quite vicious. And check that out, like double pull in. Okay, I'll try and get rid of the. Ooh, the slamming. I'm telling you. Ha ha ha. So yeah, this will be a hard challenge for a party. Probably on medium. Again, yeah. There's a thing in this game where you're really limited by cooldowns, which probably as it should be. But it does make fights a little boring. Okay, so I'm going to just try and get through these guys one by one. Fortunately, because the balance is so silly, you can still just spawn and gang for it. suppose the other thing that's kind of hurting me is I don't really know what all the abilities do or remember because I haven't played this since last weekend. So that's debuff. I'll pop my paladin weapon, Crusader's mantle. I don't think speed is my issue really, so I'm not going to pop the other thing. Let's debuff you versus Radiant and give you a good hit. The other thing to bear in mind is loot's terrible. I mean, trying to get decent items when you level up is really hard. So I've run this guy into a module I made, which was a set of vendors essentially. Found nothing really good beyond what he got when I was leveling him. So he's operating with pretty gimped equipment. But you know, I'll go into that more in the video where I describe the paladin class. Anyhow, the positive side of having my face smeared repeatedly over the world is that this is not going to work as a paladin, I don't think. But you know, he'll take it on the chin. The positive side is that I should get some loot. Huh, I did manage to disarm it despite me putting in a DC of 25. Not sure why he's running slow. Ah, of course I am, because I've got search on. I'll turn it off now, so I know that that was the only trap in the dungeon. So you see I just picked up a bunch of total junk. Plus 1 weapons when I'm level 20. Yeah, there's nothing good in that. It doesn't seem to reflect what you would hope from high level dungeoneering. Oh, this is going to kind of suck, so I'm going to go in. I'll just try and start whacking on this guy here. Let's pop that. Let's do a bunch of radiant damage. I'll do that. I'll pop actually now. I don't know why he keeps running away. That's pretty mean. Whoa. And death again. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I overstated the fight. Whew, it is quite good. You see, that's the main reason to be immune to Restraint and Paralyze. Well, that and Web. Web, when you meet it from the Drow, oh, as you would expect from Drow. Drow are incredibly annoying. Generally, you know, everything about Drow is annoying. Drow are annoying. Drow voices are annoying. People who play Drow are annoying. There's nothing good to be said about Drow. But in this, the web spell makes them particularly obscene. Oh, I'm getting pounded again. Oh, there's one dead at least. What's that do? Divine Smite. Yeah, Divine Smite you. I'll die now, but I'll come back. See if I can make you vulnerable and then actually get to you. Oh, jokes. So you see, I'm not actually immune to the pullback. I guess I'm just resisting it a lot. Suffice to say, this would be a tough challenge for a party of low-level characters. But yeah, that's what hard is meant to be. And hopefully, by the time it matters, things like the bizarre pathing will be fixed. There we go. It's starting to get it under control. And you see, I'm getting hit a huge amount. That's still because of the level reduction. But they're taking a lot of damage from hitting me as well, which is actually what's primarily killing them. It's not my character's abilities, it's the fact he's wearing a bunch of stuff, which means you take radiant damage if you hit him. I'm willing to bet if I go to the combat log, I would see that. It's just quite hard to disaggregate when the Ogre Rhaegar misses, Ogre Rhaegar misses Darion. Ogre Rhaegar critically hits Darion and then takes a bunch of damage. Doesn't look like any of them dropped. No, right, there's a little bit of goodies in here. 56 gold. So that's woeful. Yeah, that's barely going to cover the cost of one of the potions I drank. Don't really want to use all my cooldowns here, just on the grounds that there's a big fight coming in a minute. And I'm already going to almost certainly struggle with it. So you just have the good grace to die. How do the skeletons look? The skeletons look okay. A little worried that the blood smear isn't coming through. Oh, there's a chest there. I'll have that. Edge of poison. It sounds good. It won't be. Here is an empty room, and there's some spiders over there, which blood smears do work there. Okay, so I know there's a big thing in there, so I'm actually just going to lure these guys out. Radiant vulnerability for you. Try and drop this one as quick as I can. Bulwark's really good. I'm a fan of Bulwark. Don't know why they're hitting me so much. So just as reference, this character is as tanky as you can get, basically. He's got all the defensive talents. He's got defensive items. I think the big issue is that the defensive talents don't actually add defense permanently. The best is you get is Bulwark, which adds it temporarily. Much less good. And these ogres are tough. Gosh, I'm so glad I didn't try and do this with the wizard. So, ooh. Wow, that's rubbish. Really rubbish. But for whatever reason it's high level. Don't know why. Guess it doesn't matter too much. Boom, 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 boom. Haha, it's such a pretty and awesome spell. I'd actually forgotten these were here. This one looks stunned or something. I'm not entirely sure what's up with him, but I will take the opportunity to panel beat him while I can. Okay, so this is the last encounter. Let's see if it goes well. I'll see if I can pull this guy out alive. Oh yeah, I remember. I gave these guys like a bunch of abilities as well. That'll probably not be helping my cause. There also seems to be some combat lag. Not exactly loaded, one would say. I should probably hotkey my one potion. I really need to restock. I'm just going to wait on my cooldowns because I will need them. For this, I know there's the chieftain, 2 shamans, 2 raiders, so I'm actually 18 yards. That's a high range thing. I'm going to try and knock that guy out. I really don't want to be in that. struggling to get abilities off. You can mash the buttons. So you've got one guy down. Pot there. Suspect I'm going to die. Some out pots. Pop those. One of which does cooldowns. Oh, I better heal myself. Yeah, so Potion of Exuberance is amazing. And this guy is obviously a monstrosity, but that's actually fine because by himself, every time he hits me, he hurts a lot, and his damage just isn't going to get through my lay on hands. Let me pop that. Because it looks awesome, I'm going to go into Avenging Angel mode. I mean, look at the machine gunning there. Wham, wham, wham. Very impressive. So quest complete. Got some sort of green junk here. Oh, better finish this chap off. I've got my buffs. Yeah. What isn't satisfying about turning into some sort of angel of death? The answer is nothing. Nothing is not satisfying. So, got here. Here we go. And I've completed the quest. I found Peony. Should say module complete. There we go. It's all working more or less as expected, other than the massive overstacking of the fights, which I'm not worried about. You know, it's proof of concept.